Hi, welcome to the session. In this session, we are going to discuss about design of beams, that is module 5. First of all, let us look into the concepts. What do you mean by laterally supported beams? Here we are discussing about the beam, nothing but beam to beam connections. Here the beam is connected to the slab, and here we can see the beam to beam connection, that is the main beam connected to the secondary beam or the cross beam. If we come to the classification of section, that is given in page number 17 and 18 of IS 800/2007. In beam section, particularly I section, we come across flange and web portion. Here we have 4 types of sections, that is plastic, compact, semi-compact and slender. In the beam section, we come across flange and the web portion. For the flange portion, that is width divided by thickness of the flange, B by Tf. The value of epsilon values are given here. If it is a plastic, 9.4 epsilon, compact 10.5 epsilon, semi-compact 15.7 epsilon, and if it is a slender, greater than 15.7 epsilon. If we come to the web portion, that is depth divided by thickness of the web. For plastic, 84 epsilon, compact 105 epsilon, and semi-compact 126 epsilon, and slender greater than 126 epsilon, where epsilon is given by the empirical formula 250 divided by Fy whole to the power of 1 by 2. Usually, we will take Fy is equal to 250 Newton per mm square. Therefore, 250 by 250 is 1, 1 to the power of 1 by 2, it is approximately equal to 1. Therefore, epsilon value we usually take it as 1. Then, if we come to the I section, that is I beam, here we come across H is nothing but total height of the section, D is nothing but depth of the web section, Tw is nothing but thickness of the web, then Tf is the thickness of the flange, and here B is nothing but half width. So, D is given by H minus 2 times of the thickness. D is nothing but from the total height we are going to deduct the thickness of the flange on either side, that is H minus 2 Tf. Suppose if we consider this will be of round shape here, curved shape, nothing but it will be having some radius, we call this portion as root, this portion as toe. So, radius at the root we are going to deduct sometimes. So, H minus 2 Tf minus 2 R1, where R1 is the radius at the root section. Here you can observe the radius at the root. Okay. Then if we come to the moment resistance of the beam, here we have the conditions like if Bu ultimate shear force is less than or equal to 0.6 Vd design shear force, then design bending strength Md is given by beta b into Zp into Fy divided by gamma m naught, which should be less than 1.2 Ze into Fy divided by gamma m naught if it is simply supported beam, which should be less than 1.5 into Ze into Fy divided by gamma m naught if it is cantilever beam. This formula is given in the page number 53, where beta b is equal to 1 for plastic and the compact section. We come across 4 types of section here. Out of that, if we are having plastic or compact section, then beta b is equal to 1, Zp is nothing but plastic modulus, gamma m naught is 1.1, that is constant, it is given in table 5 of page 30. Then second case, if ultimate shear Vu is greater than 0.6 Vd, then MdV is given by Md minus beta into Md minus MFD, which should be less than or equal to 1.2 into Ze into Fy divided by gamma m naught. It is given in page 70. Then if we come to the check for deflection, you should know the deflection values. There are some standard cases here, like simply supported beam with UDL, simply supported beam with point load at the center, simply supported beam with two equal point loads acting at 1/3, 1/3 of the distance from the ends. Then cantilever beam with UDL, cantilever beam with point load acting at the free end. The delta values are given by, for first case, SSB with UDL, SSB is nothing but simply supported beam, SSB with UDL, delta is given by 5/384 WL to the power of 4 divided by EI. For SSB with point load at the center, delta is equal to WL cube divided by 48 EI. Then SSB with two equal point loads acting at 1/3 of the distance, delta is given by 23/648 multiplied by WL cube divided by EI. For cantilever beam carrying UDL over the entire length, delta is given by WL to the power of 4 divided by 8 EI. Then cantilever beam with point load acting at the free end, delta is equal to WL cube divided by 3I, where ES is nothing but Young's modulus of the steel here. Usually it is given by 2 into 10 power 5 or 2.1 into 10 power 5 Newton per mm square. The permissible deflection is given by the formula span divided by 250. Please remember, permissible deflection is given by the formula span divided by 250. Please note that the load W or capital W, it is the load intensity and it is the load. It should be in working load, not the ultimate load or the factored load. Then if we come to the check for shear, the related formulas and the classes are given in page number 59. Design shear strength Vd is given by 0.6 into Fy divided by root 3 gamma m naught multiplied by Av. It should be greater than Vu. Therefore, the design will be safe, where Av is nothing but shear area, that is given by H multiplied by Tw. H is the total height, Tw is nothing but thickness of the web. Next, if we come to the web portion, we come across two things. One is web crippling and web buckling. Now, check for web crippling. The beam sometimes it is going to cripple at some certain places. So, we call this one as web crippling as local failure. So, here bearing strength is given by Fw is equal to B1 plus N2 multiplied by Tw into Fyw divided by gamma m naught. It should be greater than the reaction, and where Fyw is nothing but Fy, that is given by yield stress 250 Newton per mm square. This formula is given in page number 67. Now, we are dealing with bearing strength. Here the beam is placed on the supports completely. So, we are going to get full bearing. Observe here at the end places. Here the beam is placed partially on the support. So, we are going to get half bearing. These are the two conditions. And in this formula, N2 is given by 2.5 into Tf plus R1. Tf is nothing but thickness of the flange, R1 is nothing but radius at the root section. You are going to get R1 values and Tf values from the steel table. Then check for web buckling, given in the page number 67. Buckling strength is given by Fwb equal to B1 plus N1 into Tw into Fc. This formula you need to remember. Here you can observe the web portion is going to buckle, or we can say it is going to bend in the lateral direction. So, we call that one as web buckling. H is nothing but total height, D is the depth of the web portion, TW is the thickness of the web, where N1 is given by H by 2, total height divided by 2, and where Fc is nothing but critical stress. From the table 9C of page 42, we are going to get Fc or Fcd values, both are same. That is design compressive stress, Fcd value with respect to the lambda and Fy values, with respect to lambda and Fy values. Now, slenderness ratio lambda is given by 2.5 into D divided by Tw. You need to remember this formula, lambda is equal to 2.5 into D divided by Tw, where D is given by H minus 2 times the thickness of the flange. D is nothing but depth of the web. Now, in this particular unit, we come across two types of problems. One is regarding checking the design, another one is regarding designing up the beam. First one is in the problem the section and all those things will be given. We need to check that section whether it is fully compatible with all the parameters or not. One is checking the section for its strength, second one is designing the section. There are two types of problems. So, that is all for this session. Thank you.